What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to our new house. We've got Miss AFOL TV today for the journey. We want to just give you a quick update of where we stand with moving into the new place because it's taking longer than expected, unfortunately, but we're really excited with everything so far. So for starters, we asked you guys what you want to see on YouTube, and thank you for everybody who left comments. We're going to try and answer some of those questions today. But before we dive in, just want to tell you a quick funny story about the move and how that all went. We actually had to take apart the city piece by piece, which we'll touch on more in a second. But during the travels, we thought that it might be a little scary on the back of the truck because we weren't sure if the skyscrapers would make it or not. So she actually rode in the back with the towers, and
it was great. It was the best experience of my life. Would I do it again? Yes.
Yeah, she's joking. But
I saved all the towers. They all fell on me. I dived. I caught all the towers, and they all made it.
Yeah, she was a trooper. But anyway, let me show you some of the updates to basically the garage or the studio, as well as the room where everything's being stored right now. And we'll tell you all about the experience and answer some of your questions. So let's dive on in. All right guys, so if you recall from last week's video, we were still working on getting the LEDs installed in the garage. Well, they're finally secured to the ceiling, so that looks a lot better, and it's already providing a ton more light in the garage, which is great. We also moved a bunch of stuff in here. You may notice the Alex drawers from IKEA, which held the beach at the last place. So all of those are being stored in here now. But one of the main reasons why we can't actually move in here yet is because we still have to clean this place. As you can see, there's still construction dust on the ground, and then there's a huge pile of old flooring and whatnot that needs to be taken to the dump. We're not doing carpet in here. This is staying epoxied on the floor, but that's the latest for the rest of the house. All right, so as you guys are about to see, we have a ton of stuff stored in the room over there, and that is basically like the holding area until we're able to build the city down in the garage. So I'm gonna take you through and show you what we have in there. It's a mess, but work in progress. All right guys, so on the ground we have a lot of the old roads, which are gonna be incorporated in the city, as well as some of the beach sections. All the skyscrapers were taken out, skyscraper by skyscraper, and we actually had them all staged in the old house before bringing them over here. We posted on Instagram to give you guys a view, but it was quite the process. We also actually got a video of taking down the city. Unfortunately, the GoPro actually turned off before we were able to get all of it. So I'm gonna try and do a better time lapse when we're actually setting up the city. And then moving everything up here has been pretty challenging just because it's actually 4 floors. It's like more of a townhome. So hopefully going down back to the garage, it'll be a little bit easier. But this is basically where everything is right now, and we can't wait to reassemble the city and get everything back together. All right guys, so that gives you a quick tour of what's going on behind the scenes. Now we're gonna answer some of the questions that you guys asked on YouTube, which was a post that we did earlier this week, asking you guys what you wanted to see as far as the move and everything else that's related to it. So I'm gonna read off some questions and we'll try and answer the best we can. Okay, so the first question is from Serrano Bricks, and apologies if I mispronounce anybody's names or usernames, but do the best we can. So they asked tons of little updates every few days, like how you're transporting the buildings and what your plans are for the layout would be nice to see. So we actually rented a U-Haul basically, which was kind of what we alluded to earlier in the video where she rode in the back, and it was a van. And what we did was we put down big pieces of plywood to kind of stabilize the city as we went. And we moved all the skyscrapers in on the plywood, moved those all over, and she was kind of holding them as we went. And then for the roads and beach, we just put those on the plywood as well.
Mm-hmm. And we did that because the floor wasn't flat, so.
Yeah, so it made a flat surface to make it easier to transport.
Oh my gosh, they want to see all the minifigs that we have.
Oh, should you do a video about that?
I think I should. Leave a comment down below and I will film that personally myself.
Okay, so Ethan Miller asked, he'd like to see maybe a 50-50 Lego plan / house tour. It'd be nice to hear how life is going for you and to hear about the direction of your Lego city. And it could also do a Q&A. So that's kind of what we're doing now, is a little bit of 50-50 house tour. We'll try and show you guys a better house tour once it's all set. We're still moving in. Life is going well. We recently got engaged, so we're really excited about that. And we're also really excited to move in here. It's been a hectic month, hence the lack of videos, but we're really excited for the future and everything that we have going on. So thank you, Ethan, for asking that.
Yeah, and it'll be a while till it's all furnished, but once it is, we'll definitely show the house. Exactly. Takarasu, sorry if I mispronounced that, wanted to see a video on how we do
how we plan to do the overall layout. So this is something that we've been playing around with for a while now, even before we started moving in. We use Adobe Illustrator to lay it out. So what that is a software program, and you can actually download probably a 30-day free trial, I believe, and you get the floor plan of the place you're moving into, or just measure out the room that you're moving into, and then you put it into Illustrator. And what we do is the conversion of basically an inch equals a foot. So if we're doing a 10 by 10 room, we do 10 by 10 inches on Illustrator. And then we measure the tables and everything else that we're laying out, and we put those into the software as well. And from there, we try and come up with a city plan that makes sense based on the room dimensions, the tables that we have, and everything else going in. And if you guys want to see a tutorial video on that, we can certainly do one. I get that Illustrator is something that not everybody uses. I think a lot of people also use like Excel or other software programs that might be a little bit easier to take on, but that's the way that we lay it out, and it seems to work pretty well. Okay, so Marco Gorder asked a video about the foundation of the city and then kind of what tables and supports we end up using. So this has been a hefty debate, and it's something that we've been looking into. So in the old city, we used IKEA tables, and we did a whole video about how we did that. And here we were thinking about actually building wood frame tables. The more that we looked into that, the more unlikely it's going to be. There's two reasons. One is the garage is slanted slightly to basically get water out of the garage. And then the other reason is we like to kind of shift the city around and move it around from time to time and change the layout. And you guys saw that in the last city where we would do city update videos and there'd be new expansion areas or the new airport. And if you build it all onto a wood table and have it built in, it's a little bit tougher to do that. So I think what we're gonna do is do our old method of laying down the IKEA tables with wood on top so that it doesn't shift around as much down below, which is again what we did in the last place. Seemed to work really well, but it allows us the flexibility of changing the layout from time to time, especially as the city evolves and expands. It's just nice to be able to kind of change it. So Transform and Go Bricks would like to see the future plans for sorting and storage, and that is her department. She loves sorting. I hate it. She's really good at it. But we're also trying to launch that Bricklink store, which we finally got approved for. So the plan is to put Bricklink up on the 4th floor in basically the spare office. And then we're gonna put another storage area down in the garage, which is for the city. It's gonna be dedicated parts for the city. More on that soon, but we do plan to use a lot of the similar methods that we used in the old videos, where we use kind of the Acro Mills bins, as well as some storage dividers, some shelves, and some other cool things that we have kind of mapped out for the city. So more on that in the future, but we'll definitely keep you guys updated. Okay, and the last one for today, Maxkin said that he's a massive fan of civil aviation and would like to see an international airport. Well, you're in luck. We actually have a dedicated area that's gonna be set up in the new garage for the airport only. Really excited about that. It's gonna be about double the size of the one that we were building in the old place right before we moved. So more on that soon, but there will definitely be a dedicated airport section, and we're really, really excited about that. If you haven't seen our airport build, I'll link it up above, but it kind of gives you a thorough walkthrough of everything that was built in. It's completely modular, and we've been making planes to go with it. So again, we're really excited about that, and more on that soon. Well guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, it's still a bit of a moving process going on, and we don't really have anything set up just yet, but you can kind of see some of the behind the scenes of what we have going on. Miss AFOL TV has been a huge help. Make sure you follow her on Instagram because she gives some behind the scenes. And then we're also doing updates on our Instagrams as well. The main channel ones, AFOL TV and AFOL Store. So more coming soon, but thanks for tuning in.
And leave a comment what your favorite thing that you're looking forward to. And maybe that'll push him to film it soon.
That's a good idea. Yeah, do that. But that's it for now. We'll see you guys next video. Thanks for tuning in.